Yo, what is going on everybody? It's Larry here with Licord Gamer and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some more Project Breach. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 7 game mechanics that need to be in the next Project Breach for it to be a successful game. I don't normally do these types of list videos, but I was thinking after discussing with Licord Gamer and kind of going back through and listening to it, and I was kind of writing down things that I wanted to elaborate a little bit more in a dedicated video. And these are a lot of really cool mechanics that I think if they were put into the next Project Breach game, it would be a very successful game. A lot of you guys will play Project Breach as your favorite game series. A lot of you guys will enjoy this moving forward. But with that being said, real quick before we jump into the list, if you guys go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would be super appreciated. Also, for those who may be new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you do not miss on Licord Gamer's future uploads. Now, moving on into the list, so the first thing that I think would be a main mechanic, obviously, is a massive open world. So Licord Gamer put up a poll the other day on his socials, asking you guys what kind of a game would you like. If you would rather have an open world, you rather have a sandbox kind of like Metal Gear Solid 5 does it. Or do you guys want to go back to a linear kind of style campaign, a linear game, or do you want to see something completely different? And the overwhelming majority of you wanted to see a massive open world, but it needs to feel alive and it needs to feel full. Hopefully, if they do actually do an open world, it is a living, breathing open world. The world should feature diverse environments such as forests, deserts, mountains, cities, and oceans. Each area should have its own unique visual style, challenges, and atmosphere to keep exploration interesting. The world should feel alive with NPCs and wildlife that behave realistically. NPCs might follow daily routines, react to player actions, or interact with each other. So now moving on to number 2. This is a new gear management system, so Licord Gamer and I touched about this the other night, but basically making it so that what your character is wearing actually matters. It's not just all cosmetic, so for instance, instead of having a chest rig that just looks cool, it is a functional chest rig. The mag pouches actually hold magazines for your weapon, rather than having an ammo pool, and then also having a secondary inventory system. If you guys remember in the previous Project Breach games, when you had to go into the main menu and swap out your gadgets, it was extremely immersion breaking. So bringing in some gear management system where having a backpack actually matters. There would be a secondary inventory system in your backpack, and you would physically take your backpack off, and instead of it being like a super in-depth inventory system like Arma or anything like that, but it's simply a weapon wheel inside of your backpack. So once you open that backpack, you can manage different things like maybe extra ammo, grenades, tactical equipment, stuff like that. But have it be an immersive thing, an immersive mechanic in the game itself, and basically make it so that what your character is wearing actually matters, maybe even implement some sort of like a weight system so the less things you have, the quicker and quieter you will be. I just think that would be a cool mechanic to get us a little bit away from the arcade-style gameplay of the current iterations of Project Breach. Now, to kind of piggyback off that to number 3 with the immersion is a first-person/third-person game. So currently in Project Breach, you have the first-person mechanic. It's pretty much always first-person. But just make it similar to how Arma is, where you can switch between third-person and first-person perspective whenever you want. I think this will be a huge thing for the Project Breach game series, and maybe even bring a lot of attention to it, because there are a number of people that like playing these kind of games, but some people want to play it in first person and some people want to play it in third person. So give us the option to play it in whatever perspective we want to play. Moving on to number 4. Now this one might be a little bit controversial depending on how you guys want to play through the next game, but it is a rebel and resource system. Me and Licord Gamer did talk about this the other night, so having some sort of a faction, it doesn't necessarily have to be a rebel faction, but having some sort of a rebel system where you can get their assistance, kind of like calling them to drop your vehicle off, or call for additional backup in intense situations, or to help spot enemies for you. You have the resource system in the game, but have the resource system be strictly for the rebel system in the game. You should be able to go out and gather resources to help level up the rebel system, but also, for example, if you want to call in a mortar strike, you need to make sure you have enough munition resources to carry out that mortar strike. Have some sort of a currency system in game for those resources, and as you use the rebel system, it expends those resources depending on what rebel system that you use. And for instance, if you go into a mission and you want to have rebel backup or something, and you didn't get enough food or something like that to kind of help out the rebels, you might not get as many troops as you normally would. Now moving on to number 5, this is better ballistics that would equal longer gunfights. So I did touch on this with Licord Gamer the other night, but currently the system that is in place in Project Breach, the majority of your gunfights happen within 100 meters. If you were to jump over to Arma, you're going to be getting into gunfights over 1,000 meters. So I'm not saying that we go that crazy in depth with the realism and with the ballistics and stuff like that, but definitely moving those ranges out and actually putting in a proper ballistic system, like for instance in the previous Project Breach games. Your sniper scope is not good enough for long ranges like in the skyscraper map in Project Breach Online and the ship map in Project Breach 2. So we need to tweak that a little bit to make it a little bit more in line with what the game would need to be. But basically make it so that if you're creeping up on a base that is sniper towers and you're not being careful, those snipers are going to spot you and start engaging you from 500, 600, 700 meters out. Anything like that, when it comes to gunfight distances, they need to push those out a little bit more, incorporate a better ballistic system so we can have more proper gunfights in different scenarios rather than having it just be like everything centered around a level. Now moving on to number 6. This is better and more believable AI. Obviously, with the progression through the systems of the games moving forward, we're probably going to be getting better AI that's just usually how the systems work, but making it so that the enemy actually flanks. The enemy tries to save another character similar to how Sniper Elite works. So if you take down an enemy in Sniper Elite and you don't actually finish the kill, other AI will come over and try to revive him just like we would and get him back in the fight. I think that would be a cool mechanic to see in a Project Breach game. Also, I would like to see the AI be a little bit more careful about their lives rather than just run at you like the enemies do in Project Breach Online. Actually hide behind cover. Have a suppressing fire feature. You would have somebody on like an LMG that would just be laying down firing and you wouldn't be able to pop out from behind your cover because you're being actively suppressed. I think that would be a really cool mechanic to see come back to the game, especially if the AI actually tried to tactically take you down. Smoke grenades, flanks, different tactics. Make it so that they're sort of actually communicated between each other to make the game feel a little bit more realistic rather than just having all of the AI mainly on rails. So moving on to number 7, so we have better character and weapon customization. So I think we really need to elaborate a little bit more on the weapon and character customization in the Project Breach game series, being able to have proper military chest rigs, different helmets, different night vision goggles, different tactical goggles, stuff like that. Really embrace the military feel of a Project Breach game. You definitely need to put a lot more military things in the game when it comes to different military backpacks, chest rigs, tactical belts with the ability to remove the tactical belt. And if it's a functional gear system where if you take the battle belt off, you lose those inventory slots. I'm totally okay with that, but make it a working system that goes hand in hand with the gear management system, but make it so that we have a lot of military style choices when it comes to the gear. Along with the weapon customization, I would like that a little bit more in line with Ground Branch. You guys are actually kind of seeing that on screen here, but being able to fully customize your weapons, different grips, different lasers, some canned sights, some main primary sights, having the foldable front and rear sights and stuff like that, being able to fully customize your weapons. I want to see a fully in-depth customization system for the weapons, sort of like a Gunsmith 3.0, I guess you could say. Not quite as far as Escape from Tarkov, but I feel like that would be if you kind of found a happy medium between like the current Project Breach system and Arma. I think that would be a happy medium. It would appease a lot of people that want to customize their weapons even more. So with that being said, that is going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts on all of this down below in the comments. Did I miss something that you want to see in the next Project Breach game? Are you happy with my list? Do you think I need to add to it? Is there something in the list that you do not like? Make sure to leave all those thoughts down below in the comments. But like I said, that is all for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, you are excited about the possibility of the next Project Breach game and development, make sure to drop a like on the video. And also subscribe if you are new to stay up to date on all the content surrounding the Project Breach game series here on the channel moving forward. But that is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.